Yep. Yo, it's your boy Cliff Woods here. And you may hear that Japan is very convenient. And yes, in some ways, Japan is very convenient. But then living here, I've been living here for about, let's say, for almost 5 months. I've been living here for about almost 5 months. And Japan is not as convenient as you think. Not only that, I had to think to myself, who is Japan really convenient for? Is it convenient for the younger generation, or is it more convenient for the older generation? And been living in here for almost 5 months, I think that Japan is more convenient for the older generation, and the younger generation is just reaping off of those benefits. So I'm here to give you my 10 reasons why Japan is really not that convenient, and why the US is more convenient than Japan in more ways than one. Let's start the video. All right, so number 10, sound and installation. The sound and installation sucks here in Japan. I don't understand why. I understand back then where the sound and installation was, very hard to come by. But now it's 2022. And there should be no reasons for it. I can hear somebody on the third floor, or someone on the third floor can hear me. It's like you're living in a cheap apartment back in the US. You know those cheap apartments where you gotta hit the broomstick on top of the roof. You know those cheap apartments. But yeah, you got to live in those. The sound is just so bad. You have to be very quiet at night to make sure you don't wake up the neighbors. And you can hear everything in the next room like you're already there. It's no exaggeration. You can hear everything. The installation, it's, as you hear from most videos, it gets from, if you don't have the air on, you can feel what it's like outside. There's no room temperature. Room temperature is outside temperature. So if it's hot outside, you will be able to feel that it's hot in the room. If it's cold, you'll be able to feel that it's cold in the room. That sucks. I wish it's 2022. You should have installation in your apartments and in your house. All right. Number 9. No paid overtime. There is a law that, and you must know black companies, you hear about that all the time, black Japanese companies, that you don't get paid for overtime because it's kind of gets long, and they don't want to, spend that money. So they often ask you to work later. You don't get paid for it. And sometimes you're just sitting there doing nothing, and your time is to say like, hypothetically, you're supposed to get off at 4, but you have to leave when the boss leave. So you have to leave when the boss leave, and the boss normally probably would leave at 5 or 6. So you be sitting in your desk doing nothing for 2 hours, not getting paid for it. Like, yo, coming from America, you pay for my time. You pay for my time. That, yeah, no. All right, number 8. This is a mostly cash country. Mostly cash. I have never seen where you can do a split payment. Like in America, if you don't have enough cash and you have your card, you can do a split payment. You don't have to go to the ATM. But here, I have never seen it where you can do half cash, half card. It's either all cash or all card. In those ways, America got Japan beat. All right, number 7, getting paid once a month. Getting paid once a month. In America, you normally get paid weekly or bi-weekly. Here, you get paid once a month. That sucks. Tax, you get one lump sum payment either on the 15th, in between the 15th and the 20th. You get one lump sum payment every month. That is harder, very hard to stretch your money from month to month, every day in a particular month, than from week to week or from bi-weekly to bi-weekly. Plus, the taxes don't hit you as hard from bi-weekly to bi-weekly than from month to month. The taxes hit you like a brick from month to month, the pension and all that. If it's from month to month, from bi-weekly to bi-weekly, you don't have to, the insurance won't hit you as hard, and the taxes won't hit you as hard. Getting paid once a month is a pain because you have to think about how can you stretch this money out to last you a whole month instead of, I can splurge a little bit. It's very hard to splurge a little bit over here. You have to actually consciously think about what you're spending, especially if you're living on a low income. Number 6. Ordering packagings online. Other than Amazon, when you order something, you have to be home to receive that package. Otherwise, they'll leave you a note. They'll leave you with a note, and you will have to use your phone and schedule a payment if you did not home on time. That sucks. Like, I understand certain things, like if it's that you got to sign for, but if you don't have to sign for it, which is most of the things, why do I have to be home? Why can't you just, it's supposed to be a safe country. Why can't you just leave it on the porch or leave it in front of the door? And I'll pick it up when I can pick it up, because sometimes I'm at work. So that's why Amazon, you're able to do it, but you have to wait until it's actually getting delivered and then go into Amazon app itself and let them know just to leave it at the door, instead of just letting it do it automatically like it is in the States. Like, I can just order whatever I want as long as it's a reasonable amount, and you don't have to sign for it, and just leave it and just go to work, and then when I come home, I know it's in the house. I don't have to set an automatic schedule. That sucks. America got it right. All right, number 5. Now, when I was thinking about making this video, I didn't know this until one of my friends pointed this out to me. But on number 5, there is, when you wash your hands, when you go to the bathroom, after you've done your business and you went to wash your hands. The first thing, the water, if it's during the winter time, the water is cold. You cannot change the water gauge to hot to cold to make it warm like you can in certain parts of the states, But not only that, it in the wintertime or in the fall to winter, it is freezing. So you wash your hands in freezing water. And then also you go and you try to dry your hands and realize that there's no dryer and realize there's no paper towels. Now, my Japanese friend pointed this out to me, that they removed it due to COVID. So you used to be able to wash your hands and dry them, but they removed it because of COVID. And now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait, what? that does now. That makes it even worse because it's backwards. Like in America, they instead put automatic hand dryers machines. That all you gotta do is put your hands there and it'll dry your hands up quickly and you don't have to worry about it because it's motion sensor. But they decided to remove it due to COVID. So now you wash your hands in freezing cold water and you're walking out with your hands in the cold with your hands cold. You can get sick doing that. Like, that don't make any sense. You can get sick. After you wash your hands is freezing now. So, there's a lot of, you can get sick, especially if it's like below freezing, you can get sick, and you can probably get frostbite if it's below freezing because your hands is wet and you're walking out in the cold. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Japan, get your act together. Japan, get your act together. Number 4. I'm going to also put this in a separate video, but you need to know this for number 4. It's easier to transfer USDs to yen than to transfer yen to USDs. Okay, so let me make this easier for you. When you can use your bank card, your American bank card, anywhere you go, as long as it is a international ATM. So mostly 7-Eleven. You can go to a 7-Eleven, put your bank card in, and grab money from your savings or your credit or your credit or your checking account. You can grab the yen from there, and then you can put the yen into your actual bank. That's very easy. But PayPal doesn't work here. Not only PayPal doesn't work here, you can't use Cash App. Not only can't you use Cash App, you can't use Zelle, you can't use Venmo, and all these other American apps. Now, granted, Cash App don't work in countries like Canada, but you can still use PayPal. PayPal works. PayPal works almost everywhere but Japan. So, you're going to have to download a third party called Wise. My bad. You have to download a third party called Wise. And then you have to get it set up with your bank in America, and get it set up with your bank in Japan. That is more difficult. This is the thing that they don't tell you, and I wish they did. When you go and set up your bank account, they don't give you a debit card. They give you an IC cash card that you use to put out money. And you have to go back to the bank to ask for a debit card, which takes you 12 days. That is backwards. First, why didn't you set me up a debit card when I get my IC card? Second, why no one tells you this? You have to get it from a third party information. Someone tell, hey, why don't you just get a debit card? I'm like, they never gave me a debit card. He's like, you can get one. I'm like, why didn't they tell me that? No one told me that. Like, you can get a debit card from a Japanese bank. You have to go back after you apply and ask for it. That is backwards. And that is inconvenience. That is super inconvenience. And not only, but Wise is not the only third party app that you use to transfer money. You can also use Sensory Bank. I'm not being sponsored by any of those, but just to let you know, you can use Sensory Bank and you can use Wise to transfer your money, but that takes a long time to get it set up. It takes a long time, and it's very inconvenient, and things that they should tell you before you get to Japan or while you in Japan for the first couple weeks, so you can get all of that situated. They don't tell you none of that. You have to go look for it, and it is sometimes it will just fall in your lap. And if it doesn't fall in your lap, then you're out of luck. Okay, number 3. The train stations. The train stations, namely Tokyo, because that's the only one that I'm near, they will close at different times of the night. There's unlike America, where all the train stations will close at the same time. Like there's one last train and that's it, and that's like around 12. No, not my bad. Like around 2 or 1, depends on if it's a weekday or weekend. In Japan, every single train station will close at different times of the night. So how far up you got to go up in Saitama, you have to be sure and watch it. Google Maps is your friend, or Yahoo Train Maps, which you could only get off of Google Japan. That is also your friend. You have to look and see what time your train station closed by using those apps. That sucks. There's one time where I came from downtown. I was coming from downtown Tokyo, from at the bottom of Tokyo, and I thought I made it to last train, which was around 11:50 to 12. It was during the weekday. So I thought I made it to last train to my location. And it turns out it's to my location in Saitama. And when I was looking at my Google Maps, I realized that my train station was closed. And I thought it was bugging. And that's when I found out that train station was closed at different times of the night. So I thought, okay, it's bugging. So I made it all the way up. I made my transfer, and then went all the way up, and I went all the way up to a certain part of Saitama. And yeah, that was it. Train was closed. So I had to walk about 2.5 hours up to my destination, to my house. Or I will have to go take a taxi, which is going to be expensive. Or I would have to stay at a manga cafe, internet cafe, and wait it out till first train at 6. That is annoying. Like, that is super annoying. Just make all the train stations close at the same time. And even if it's you doing, or you can make Tokyo close at a certain time and all of Saitama close at a certain time. It makes it so much easier. That way I know if I got to make it to last train, which is all the way up upper Saitama, like Kuri, if I got to make it all the way there, I at least know, okay, if I can just make that train station, the train stops, the train station will close at hypothetically 1. I know, okay, I can make it, as long as I make it to the train by 12, I'm good. Or, hell, hypothetically, if I can make it on the train by 11:30, I'm good. Because all the train stations close at the same time. Instead of it closing one by one, and you never know when, and you have to look on Google when is your particular train station will close. And sometimes certain train stations will close at different times. Like one train station, one stop will be closed, and then the other train station further up won't be closed. That doesn't make any sense. Like, come on, Japan, come on. Okay, so a little break. Like I said, my mission is to bring G Fuel to Japan. So this is what I'm sipping on today. I am sipping on some Hive Nectar. This is so good. G Fuel, you need to unvolt this. You need to unvolt this. This is good. This is tangerine. I believe it's tangerine and mango nectar. I'm gonna look it up and put it on the screen, but I believe it's tangerine and mango nectar. I'm gonna look it up and I'm put it on the screen. Whew. Okay. All right. Number 2. There is no dryer, so you have to air dry your clothes. This is 2022 in Japan, and why there's no dryer? Now, not only that there's no dryer, the filter system sucks at the wash machine. When if it's a dryer, it's a lot better because it's a lot better in a dryer than it is in a wash machine. The filter system sucks, so all the lint is still on your clothes. You're gonna have to shake it off, all the lint off. That's annoying. Too much work. Two more issues with that is during the summertime and during the wintertime, it sucks. In the summertime, you have to wash your clothes very early in the morning. Otherwise, black mold will grow because it's too hot and too humid over here. Okay? Very early in the morning. Sunrise is at 4. So you gotta watch it. You have to wake up at 4 to wash your clothes. Not only that, in the wintertime, it's freezing cold. And you have to dry your clothes. And outside, in the freezing, can't do that. So you have to bring it in and air dry it in the house. Annoying. Takes a longer time. It takes a long time to air dry your clothes. More issues with that. Back in America, say you gotta wear a uniform to work, right? And you forgot to wash your uniform and you realize at the last minute. It takes you about an hour to, actually it takes about 45 minutes to an hour and a half to wash and dry your clothes in America. So if you catch it in time, say you gotta be at work at 1, you realize it at 10, that you forgot to wash and dry your clothes, or something happened, something tragic happened to your clothes, you spilled something by accident. If you catch it early enough, you can be able to wash it and dry it very quickly and don't have nothing to worry about. You don't have to, it'll be done. It'll be washed and dry and you're ready to grow. Here, you're out of luck. You're out of luck if you got to wash a uniform. You're just out of luck. Like, there's nothing you can do. Nothing at all. Japan is 2022. Get your act together, man. Get your act together. You're supposed to be the land of convenience. And these reasons, you're not very convenient. Now, let me get to the number one reason. The number one reason why Japan is not that convenient and why America is more convenient than Japan. The banks. The banks are closed on the weekend and the holidays, and the banks only open at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. There's a lot of issues with that. A lot of issues. So, let's say hypothetically, you lock your pen. 3 pins and you're locked. When you lock your pen, you have to go to the bank yourself to reset the pen. Okay, that's issue number one. Unlike in America, if you lock your pen, you can go to the bank and reset it. Yeah, you can go to the bank to reset it, or you can just call the bank and the bank will, or call an automatic machine and they will reset it for you. So That's one issue. The other issue is, okay, fine, I got to go to the bank and reset it. But if you locked it on a Friday, and that Friday is a holiday, the banks are closed. So now so the banks are closed Friday because it's a holiday. Hypothetically, let's say the bank is closed. I mean, not hypothetically, the bank is closed. The bank closed on Friday, they close on Saturday, and they close on Sunday. So that's 3 days that the banks are closed. You are out of luck for those 3 days. If you have no money out, you are really out of luck. What are you going to do? Especially since they don't give you a debit card. And you have to pull money out using your IC card. So you have 3 days of no food because you didn't go out shopping yet. 3 days no food, 3 days of no water because you forgot because your pen is locked and the bank is closed. Know how much trouble you are, and especially if you're a new person, you don't know anybody, and on a whim, you don't know anybody yet, and you lock yourself. How much trouble you can be in, man. You don't understand how much trouble you are in. Not only that, during the major holidays, the Christmas and New Year's holiday, the banks are closed for like a whole week. So you're screwed on that end too, especially if you happen to lock your pen during that Christmas to New Year's stretch. Oh, it's annoying. So, okay. So that's an issue. Not only is that an issue, the banks are open at 9 a.m. and close at 5 p.m. So let's say you lock it and you have to go to the bank. Most people got to go to work at 8. And most people got to get off at 4. So, or 4 or 4:30. Like me, I had to go to work at 8:30 and I get off at 4:30. So that's an issue right there. So you're going to miss most of the time at the bank because you had to go to work. And here in Japan, you get paid hourly, but salary. It is weird. You get paid hourly, but it's salary. So if you miss an hour, they're gonna deduct your pay. So here's the issue. So if you can't afford to miss work, you have to wait till your day off, but you're in a conundrum right now. Okay, I can just get off at 4:30 and just go to the bank. That's wrong because it depends how far the bank is from the place that you work. Like for me, the bank is 30 minutes from walking from where I work. So by the time I get there, it'll be 5. The bank will be closed. Doesn't make any sense. Make it make sense. Unlike in America, where all you gotta do is just call and they'll reset your PIN for you, or the banks are open on weekends but close early. That makes more sense. Just close it early, but open it on the weekend, but just close it early because people have issues every day. If you can't get to the bank, then you can just call the bank. There's automatic machines or a live person most of the time. I'd rather take an automatic machine. Most people don't want an automatic machine. They want to talk to a live person. But I'd rather talk to an automatic machine than nobody. I'd rather talk to an automatic machine than nobody. The best option is to talk to a live person. But I'd rather talk to an automatic machine than nobody at all and be stuck and screwed. So, those are my 10 reasons why the U.S. is more convenient than Japan, and Japan is not that convenient as you think. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to follow my socials. is at Eclipse Wolf. I cannot put it in the description bar right now because I gotta get verified. But my Twitter is Eclipse Wolf 92, and my Instagram is at Eclipse Wolf 92. Be sure to follow my socials. I'll be sure to come up with more videos like this. I have a couple videos down the pipeline, so stay tuned.